What's going on, y'all? Rooster McNuggets. It's a beautiful day in the Bay Area. You know, I wanted to bring you a message of healing, a message of health and well-being. And so, well, what is death? What is sickness? When we find disharmony, when we find disease, we look underneath the cover and we find that there's always a cause, right? And when we remedy that cause, because we bring awareness, we bring consciousness to that situation, then we can be enlightened, because we can find what it is that we're embracing that's bringing this disharmony in our life. What our Western medical establishment, whatever you want to call it, it treats the symptoms. It doesn't want to look underneath the cover. And when it's also pushed by corporate agenda that's bound by fiduciary responsibility, we see that the agenda here is to keep people in fear and in sickness, because that's how you can create a business. It's a business model that continues to feed itself. And so, well, that's why we're seeing it ratchet up. And people don't understand these things because they're institutionalized, and it's like a big megaphone. And these people have the megaphone, and all they're talking about is how you're not the source of healing, okay? It's something outside of yourself. In fact, take this, and that in itself just promotes more disharmony and disease. What we want to do is look at these things so that we can find the solution and get into it. But it's a humbling experience. And so instead of looking towards source and trying to embrace how we may have misinterpreted things, and then we'd rather point the finger and act like we're the victim. But that doesn't empower anybody. So that's why that's a satanic worldview, is this idea of the little horn, the little guy. This being is a microcosm of the macrocosm, but it's not the totality, right? It's a gateway to the great I am. This is the body of and the temple of God. But we have to get in harmony with what that means within ourselves and understand that clearly for that to resonate. And so we're experiencing a falling away right now because we haven't wanted to take accountability. We haven't wanted to look at some of these things. And it's understandable because it's painful, but it's only going to get worse if we don't repent. And that all that means is to admit that we went astray, to come back to what we ultimately will have to come back to anyways, because there's no escape and there's no shortcuts either. So we can get mad and upset about the fact that this is eternity and we've been dealt an opportunity, or we can see it as a burden, So it's really depends on what kind of attitude we want to embrace, and that starts with the heart. And so I want to reach out. I've been making these videos not because I'm better than anybody or anything else, but I see the pain and I recognize it because it's something that I've had to experience very acutely in my own personal life. And I've seen some of the toxic relationships and how we're seeing that on a societal level. And I've experienced where that goes, but I've also experienced what it means to find healing. So I want to extend that to everybody out there. And, I don't have the solution, but we have the solution within ourselves if we have the courage to look at that, So I want to encourage you to live your truth, whatever that is. Step to that, embrace the rooster, embrace the spirit of the resurrection, and know that you're eternal. The more that we can come to know that as truth, the more we will find the fountain of life that resides within us all. Love y'all.